Healthcare right now is at this incredible tipping point. We're seeing decades of medical breakthroughs and amazing new technologies all converging at once. And honestly, they're about to completely reshape how we think about health and medicine. So let's dive in and explore what this really means for all of us.
I want to start with a question that, not gonna lie, sounds like it's straight out of a movie, but it's quickly becoming our reality. What if we could actually predict a disease before you even show symptoms? Or what if we could design a treatment that's not just for your condition, but is tailored specifically to your unique DNA? I mean, that's the kind of stuff technology is starting to make possible.
And the stakes here, they are absolutely enormous. This number you're looking at, $150 billion, well, that's what Accenture thinks AI alone could save the US healthcare economy, not in a decade, every single year by 2026. And this isn't just about money. It's about freeing up resources to give better, more efficient care to everyone.
But, to really appreciate just how revolutionary this moment is, we have to look back. We have to understand the journey that got us here. The future is always built on the shoulders of giants, right? And their discoveries laid the very foundation we're building on today. Let's take a look at some of those key moments.
This right here, these are the breakthroughs that completely changed our relationship with disease. It started way back in 1796 with the smallpox vaccine, which proved for the first time we could prevent a disease on a huge scale, not just react to it. Then, fast forward to 1922, insulin. It turned a death sentence into a manageable condition. The 1940s gave us penicillin, our first real weapon against bacterial infections. And then, the big one, in 1953, discovering the double helix structure of DNA. That gave us the literal blueprint of life itself, and it opened a door we are still exploring today. So here's the bottom line. Without those foundational leaps, the world we live in now, with routine organ transplants, MRIs, even cancer therapies, it just wouldn't be possible. They created the scientific language we're still using to write the next chapter of medicine.
And that brings us to today. And really, the only way to describe what's happening now is unprecedented acceleration. If the past was defined by these huge singular breakthroughs that took decades, the present is defined by a whole bunch of technologies all hitting their stride at the exact same time. It's a revolution in real time.
And this table gives you a quick snapshot of the major players in today's game. You've got artificial intelligence completely overhauling diagnostics. You have gene editing tools like CRISPR that can literally rewrite our DNA. Telehealth is breaking down barriers to care. Wearable devices are turning us all into walking data streams. And robotic surgery is giving surgeons a level of precision we've never seen before.
So let's drill down on AI for a second. When we talk about AI in healthcare, it's not about robot doctors taking over, right? Think of it more like an incredibly powerful assistant. AI can sift through millions of data points, medical images, patient records, you name it, to find these tiny patterns a human might miss. It helps clinicians make faster, more informed decisions.
But like any powerful tool, AI has two sides. On the one hand, the benefits are amazing. Its speed is just unmatched. And its accuracy? One Harvard model hit 96% accuracy in spotting certain cancers. That's incredible. But on the other hand, we have some very real challenges. There are concerns about automating tasks, the simple fact that an algorithm can't show empathy, and the really big one, data quality. If the data an AI learns from is biased, well, its conclusions are going to be biased too.
Okay, now let's talk about something truly mind-bending, CRISPR. To put it simply, it's like a find and replace function, but for our genetic code. Like in a word processor. It lets scientists find a specific faulty gene in our DNA and swap it out for a healthy one. This gives us the potential to correct genetic disorders right at the source, tackling horrible diseases like sickle cell anemia before they even take hold.
And this quote, man, it just puts the potential of CRISPR into perfect focus. We know the genetic root of thousands of diseases, but we can only treat a tiny fraction of them. Gene editing could be the key to closing that massive gap. We're already seeing researchers use it to target diseases like sickle cell and cystic fibrosis.
So, if that's what's happening now, what's just over the horizon? Well, this is where things start to feel truly futuristic. We're moving away from a system that just treats sickness and toward one that is proactive, predictive, and intensely personal.
And the ideas on deck are straight out of science fiction. Seriously, we're talking about creating digital twins, perfect virtual copies of our bodies where doctors can test a drug on you without ever touching you. We're imagining nanobots, these microscopic machines swimming through our bloodstream to deliver medicine directly to a single cancer cell. Then there's 3D bioprinting of actual human organs, brain-computer interfaces to restore movement, and even using the sound of your voice to diagnose a disease.
Let's just break down 3D bioprinting for a second, because the process is just wild. It starts with a patient's own cells, so no risk of rejection. Those cells get mixed into this special gel called bioink. Then a highly specialized printer builds an organ, layer by tiny layer from a digital blueprint. That structure gets placed in an incubator where it matures into living, functional tissue. The implication here is staggering, a future where the organ transplant waiting list just doesn't exist.
Okay, so after all that incredible optimism, it's time for a reality check. Because for all the promise that technology holds, innovation doesn't happen in a bubble. It happens in a really complex world, filled with some very real, very human challenges.
And one of the biggest challenges isn't technology at all. It's people. This chart, it's pretty stark. Even with all the AI and robotics in the world, we are staring down a massive global shortage of healthcare workers. We're talking a shortfall of up to 86,000 doctors in the US alone by 2036. And 10 million health workers globally in the next decade. Technology can help, for sure, but it can never replace a caregiver. And that workforce shortage, it's really just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. We're also fighting costs that are rising at a rate we just can't sustain. There's the huge ethical question of making sure these new technologies are for everyone, not just the wealthy. We've got the constant threat of cyber attacks, an epidemic of burnout among our clinicians, and regulatory systems that just can't keep up with the speed of innovation. Which brings us to this quote from Slalom, and I think it just nails the core challenge perfectly. The path forward has to be a balancing act. We absolutely must embrace the power of AI and data, but we can never ever lose sight of the fact that at the heart of healthcare, it's one human being caring for another.
And that leaves us with the most important question of all. As all this amazing technology gets woven into every part of our health, how do we make absolutely sure that our system of care stays, as Slalom put it, fiercely human? How do we balance that relentless progress with compassion? How do we balance innovation with empathy? Because that is the defining challenge for the next era of medicine.